Hey guys, welcome to another stream here. Like always, my name is Najarro. We're going to take a quick look at what's happening in the market. What's going on, Danny? Good morning, Danny. How's it going? Stock market's pretty green today, right? I mean, it seems like indexes are showing some strong levels today. The real question is this just a quick cap bounce, dead cap bounce, or are we done? I don't know, right? For me, it's always super volatile market, so I think we can go either way. I'm not gonna try to guess it, but if I did have to guess, I think this is probably just a quick bounce, and we might see some more volatile days in the upcoming week at least. So we can see though, right now Dow is up 0.43%. What's going on, Adam? How's it going, Adam? Good morning to you, man. We see Nasdaq up 0.74. We see the S&P 500 up 0.57. So I actually just finished a video, and I was gonna edit it, but then I saw it was streaming time. I got a video up on, well, it's gonna be up on ASML and Micron Technologies. Both, in my opinion, I mean, are looking pretty impressive. ASML a little bit more overextended, but Micron Technology stock price is down after earnings, which I don't think earnings were horrible, and guidance for next quarter seems to be the hot topic, but it doesn't seem to be Micron's fault at the moment. So I definitely share a little bit more insight in the video, but that should be coming in after this stream. What's going on, Peter? How's it going? Good morning. So let's take a quick look at any trending stocks right now. So I mean, Micron is one of the trendings right now, down 0.93, but it's kind of pulled up. We don't see anything else too much heavily in the red right now. I actually was just curious to see what Ethereum was doing. Still below 2000s, but it just want to see how low it dropped. Yep. Good morning, Fizz. How's it going? What's with the face, Fizz? Hey, morning. Is the market scaring you yet, Fizz? What do you think about today? What do you guys think today? What do you guys think about the market right now? I mean, pretty much I'm a mixture of green and red. We have, for example, some of my big players. Let's see. What's going on, David Becker? What's going on, Mr. High? Valium, buy the dip. What's going on, Valium? Nah, I never get scared. I think we go lower before we go higher. I think same thing, Fizz, you know? I mean, obviously, long-term investor, I believe my positions are super good. But in the short term, I do think we have the possibility of going a little bit more lower, or a higher possibility of going more lower before we go higher. But we know right now, right, one of my big plays, Unity, is up 1.2%. Let's take a quick look. Nvidia's up 0.83%. All of them are kind of sitting right there. Where's AMD? AMD is up 0.35. Is C Limited up? C Limited is up about 0.09%. I think Sorens might be down for me. Where are you, Sorens? Nope, Sorens is actually up 1.16%. So my 5 biggest positions are a bit green right now. My portfolio is probably not moving much because nothing is really green. I think it's looking pretty weak. We definitely still see a nice amount of red in my account. So Danny, you just checked out Peloton, looked oversold. Don't tell Fizz that, man. We can't have too many people super excited about Peloton. David Becker, Christmas time on my portfolio. Same, right? I'm guessing blue and red. I mean, green and red. They should have a blue color. I wonder what blue color would mean, but they should definitely have a blue color. Greystone, how's it going? I don't know if I should add this week, to be honest. I would like to see how SPY does the next few days with upcoming events. I mean, sometimes, right, there's the best thing to do is sometimes nothing, right, Danny? So maybe you might be interested. And like you said, you're kind of just waiting to see what the SPY does for the next few days. Greystone, Jose, can we look at LMT? Is that Lockheed Martin? We can definitely take a look at it. ATVI was up yesterday on opposing to everything else going great today. Yeah, so Activision yesterday kind of saw that one of those lawsuits, they kind of paid off, I think $18 million, right? $18 million on that lawsuit. And to that's chump change, right? I mean, that's pretty much a slap on the wrist, right? This is a company where their CEO makes $154 million on compensation, I believe. So 15 million or 18 million, I think it's more of a slap in the wrist. I'm pretty sure they just sold the couch from one of their studios and to pay for that fine. Yeah, so compared to the CEO salary, that's nothing. Compared to this company who has about, I think, $8 billion in cash is nothing. I do believe, obviously, to some extent, investors are excited about it. There's still 2 lawsuits out for Activision, I believe. The first one is one in California, and the other one is, I forget from where. I think it's the SEC looking about the way they're kind of doing with management holding up positions. So there's still 2 lawsuits at the moment. I think the biggest one of them all was the one that they just settled, which was the 18 million. But there's still 2. I guess investors are still pretty excited. But Activision, in my opinion, outside of that, right, I'm not going to try to downplay that. But the business itself seems to be doing fine with the new games coming out. They have Call of Duty coming out in the next few weeks. They have new updates on Hearthstone. They recently updated Diablo, I believe. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be super positive in cash flow from operations. So Mr. High, I'm here to see your thoughts on ASML. So Mr. High, I hope you're still here. If you are, let me know, and I'll share my thoughts of ASML. So ASML, I mean, if you're not here, I'm still going to talk about it. So ASML stock right now, I'm actually I did my video, I recorded already, but before editing, I come to you guys to stream. ASML, semiconductor company, right? This is one that provides equipment to the manufacturing side of the semiconductor industry, right? So this is definitely a stock that has been doing pretty well. Right now, the company, we can see from its 22-week high is down, from its 52-week high is down about 12.6%. To me, ASML is still more of a correction of a dollar cost average position. Even with that drop, I don't believe it's now time to load the boat. But ASML did come out with some great news. ASML increased. Let me take a quick look. ASML. I actually want to show you this. So that's going to be a cool one. But then there was another ASML. I was just looking at it. What's going on, Saru? ASML, if we take a quick look, they kind of gave an update to their financial update. So now they believe for 2025, annual revenue will be somewhere between 24 billion euros to 30 billion euros. This was a huge growth compared to where they previously expected. So investors are a bit excited. The only thing is analysts already had projected similar values. So I believe that's why the stock price isn't really moving too much, Mr. High, because analysts already projected, I believe, 28 billion euros, which would be their 2025 revenue. So it kind of meets expectations already. That's why I believe stock price isn't taking a huge growth today. The other thing that they mentioned here is that they're still focusing on strong returns to investors in forms of buybacks and dividend increasing. ASML pays a strong dividend right now of about, actually not that strong, about 0.42% dividend. But they are doing strong buybacks. Here, if you go ASML, Mr. High, if you go ASML and just put buyback, they share their buyback program. And in the past few days, they have bought over 50,000 shares each day on September 20th, September 21st, September 22nd, September 23rd, September 24th. When you take a look at these prices, these are weighted average prices on for example, September 24th, it shows $742. If you take a quick look at ASML, you're going to be $776. You're like, how is ASML getting this cheaper? These are actually European euro prices. So this kind of relates to about $860. So ASML has actually been buying their shares back at over 800 United States dollar right now. Some of them are even 860. I believe September 24th, they bought 50,000 shares at $860. I believe this shows that they believe that their prices are still pretty cheap. Right now, with prices sitting at $775, almost $100 cheaper than when they bought last week. I think ASML is going to continue to do buyback programs. So ASML still looks like a strong player, in my opinion, for a long-term hold. But still, I want to say at these current levels, it's still more of like a dollar cost averaging position. So Mr. High, hopefully that helped on with my overall thoughts on ASML. So what else do you guys want to take? Activision may close out of its downtrend. I might add more Activision. Yeah, I mean, Danny, it's definitely looking pretty interesting at these levels with a lot of new news. Earnings, I mean, I'm super excited. Earnings seasons are starting back up. That means a lot of great videos from me. What's going on, BKD? Maybe, I mean, obviously I'm going to be biased. All my videos are amazing and great. But earnings seasons are starting this this second half of the month. Micron Technology kind of reported yesterday. They are one of the early ones. I believe we're still about 2 weeks into true earnings. But Micron definitely showed strong strength in the data center, in the gaming, in the automobile, in the PC market. So I'm super bullish for my AMD, for my Nvidia coming up this earnings quarter, just because of the guidance Micron kind of showed within those markets. Even though Micron is a bit down right now, I think Micron is also looking pretty attractive. I'm not going to lie. So what else do we have? We have Tesla up 1.93. We have Sorens. It does seem like international markets are up. It does seem like Huya, for example, NIU, PTT. Some of my Chinese stocks are up right now. These aren't big positions in my portfolio, but they still kind of make a bit of noise in there. So happy to see those pretty green. I'm guessing things are getting better with the Evergrande or whatever it's called situation. You would expect those prices to kind of go down. Jose, what's your plan to add AMD and Nvidia? So, I mean, at the moment, Danny, I have no real plan in forms of short term. I think in 2 months from now, Danny, if AMD and Nvidia stay at these prices, I'm going to start dollar cost averaging again. Right now, I'm trying to see if there's a better buying opportunity. For AMD, these 100 seem okay if I didn't have a big position. If I didn't have the position size I did right now, AMD right now, I would be more of dollar cost averaging right now. I'd rather wait about two more months where my portfolio gets bigger and my positions on AMD and my portfolio weight of AMD and Nvidia shrink a bit. So then when I buy on, it increases that weight position. So AMD right now at these levels, if I didn't have a position, I would dollar cost average a decent size, especially where it's at right now. I'm really thinking about adding maybe in 2 months from now, or if we see a huge correction into, I want to say the mid 80s. If we see a huge correction to the mid 80s, early 90s, that might be a whole different story. For Nvidia, similar story. If I didn't have a big position, Danny, this is a time where I would more dollar cost average. But for this one, for me to add up really heavy, it would be somewhere in the low 100s, 140s, 150s, 160s for me to really go super ham. Maybe some small positions or nibble at like the 180s. Unfortunately, I think Nvidia is going to be one that's going to be the most volatile for me this upcoming year. What's going on, Pilot? How's it going? Pilot Poncho, I think you might be interested in ASML. I actually just talked about it, but a video is coming out on ASML after this stream, where I kind of share my insights. But things are looking pretty interesting with what ASML reported yesterday and their buyback program. And Greystone, did I buy Shopify? No, so I believe I am gonna buy it. I purchased on Thursday, Greystone, so it still hasn't really. It's still not my day. Tomorrow is my purchasing day. I do believe I'm going to go with Shopify, PaySafe, and Draftkings. And depending on how much extra money I get from my paycheck, it looks like a decent paycheck this time. I might do a little bit more than my normal position, than what I normally do on a weekly basis. So I'm super excited. I do believe all four are very attractive at these levels. Roku, Shopify, PaySafe, and Draftkings. I'm telling you right now, if they stay at these levels, PaySafe and Draftkings are going to be a for sure. Shopify has a high chance. Roku might be the least out of them. If I do decide, this would be the last pick, but all four are looking super attractive right now, in my opinion, but I could be completely wrong, right? Grayson, did you buy any Shopify? So let's see, what else do we have in the markets today in the stocks? Stocks making the biggest moves pre-market. We saw Micron didn't do too well due to the overall forecast for the first year. Yes, I was listening. Thanks for reading it for me. ASML is 1.5 billion % of my portfolio. Nice. Fair size. Yeah, so I really like them. That video is going to be coming out soon. And I definitely share a bit of insight there. Netflix yesterday. I mean, if you guys have been following, I don't just... I make guesses, but sometimes these guesses do come true. I did believe that Netflix was going to start doing video game acquisition. Video game acquisitions, and yesterday they bought their first video game maker, Night School Studio, in a move to diversify its revenue source. Night School Studio is best known for supernatural themed video game Oxenfree. Unfortunately, I'm not I'm not familiar with Oxenfree. Maybe some of you guys might be, but I do believe Netflix, this is going to be a trend that's going to continue. Netflix, I believe Facebook is also going to follow suit. We haven't seen it recently, but I believe Facebook is also going to start doing some form of acquisitions into small video game companies. Microsoft, we're going to also see some of the big players, maybe Apple, going to start buying video games. I think right now, every industry believes that the video game market is the best way to kind of bring a new experience to their users. So that was pretty interesting, Netflix making that acquisition. Let's see how Netflix is actually doing right now in forms of stock price. Netflix, right? It definitely gave us some nice buying opportunities around July. I definitely circled it here. I would like to see Activision Netflix partnership. That would be pretty interesting, right, Greystone? And I think it would be huge beneficial. Something like that, Greystone, makes perfect sense. Imagine a World of Warcraft series, Netflix original, and kind of bringing in a little bit more of a Netflix original on a World of Warcraft franchise, a StarCraft franchise, a Call of Duty franchise type movie. I think that would actually make perfect sense in forms of partnerships, and then maybe Activision develop the game for Netflix to kind of just bring a little bit more insight into their franchise and bring more players over. Not a horrible idea, right, Greystone? I actually would like that idea, or some other streaming platform. What else do we have? Lucid Group. Lucid plans to deliver its first electric luxury sedans in late Tuesday. Lucid said its vehicles will have greater driving range than comparable cars from rival Tesla. So Lucid is definitely one that I guess people are super excited about. I mean, that's exciting, right? Definitely having a new it's exciting to finally start producing their vehicles. So right now, stock price is up a nice amount. We can see this is definitely a range is kind of tested before. Perfect there. You can see it numerous times here, and that's where we're sitting right now, $27.42. Definitely understand why investors are excited. I mean, fine. I believe this is one of the first few vehicles out there, startup companies that is gonna enter the EV market outside of the big players. And if they do well, it could definitely be a strong acquisition company as well. So I can definitely see the hype behind Lucid. Not one I'm personally following, but BKD, highly recommend checking out the Squid Game on Netflix. Yes, I keep seeing that trending. I very limit my time to what I watch on Netflix or any time. So that might be a thing. My wife and I we usually watch just funny shows or stuff like that. On the Block is what we're waiting for to come out. Maybe not what is it, Karate Kid, but it's not Karate Kid. What was it? I forget what it was called. Waiting for that as well. So let's see, what else do we have? ASML, we talked about it already. Affirm is continuing to be really strong to shareholders, right? Affirm, the financial service company, said it will offer debit credit cards as well as customers to execute cryptocurrency transactions directly from savings account. Cobra Kai, thank you, David Becker. I completely forgot about the name. But yeah, super excited. I believe that's coming out soon as well. But cryptocurrency transactions directly from savings account, Affirm shares jumped 3.6. Affirm is this the company that has done amazing to investors? Affirm, yeah. I mean, it's right. This is the one that got the partnership. Cobra Kai fans, anyone? Yes, I am here, Danny. But I started watching it super late. I think one day my wife and I, we just binge watched like from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to like 5 o'clock in the morning to just finish the seasons and stuff like that. And that's what we usually do. We usually binge watch and then just not watch Netflix for the next month or two until we're ready to binge watch something else. So Affirm Holdings, right? Affirm is definitely providing strong returns to investor. I mean, we definitely saw that Amazon deal. Earnings were super strong. A lot of tech investors kind of moved into Affirm. This is one I'm personally not in. I know a lot of investors are super excited. CleanSpark, Pilot Poncho, CleanSpark. Also, any thoughts on Polestar merger with Gorsback? Volvo electric vehicles, I see them here. Good feedback from owners. Not sure my thoughts. Any thoughts on Polestar? Pilot, I'm not too familiar with Polestars. Maybe you can give me a quick explanation of what Polestar does, Pilot. I can share my overall thoughts in the market. Let's see. So right now, market still pretty strong. I don't think the worst is over just yet. Hi, Jose. If anyone needs to get into stocks right now, which ones would you recommend? I am very new into the stock market. Fahiman, what's going on? And welcome. Welcome. I want to say first, congratulations in entering into the stock market. It was probably the best decision I've ever made in form of for reaching financial freedom. And let me just say, when you're starting off, you're gonna make a few mistakes. Don't let these mistakes scare you off. You're gonna make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in the market. If I was just starting off, Fahiman, I would kind of start with ETFs. So ETFs are more diversified. First, I would find like an index fund ETF. So one of the go-tos, for example, would be the SPY ETF. This is if I was starting, or for example, if my brother was starting, he was just wanting to get into investment. I would just, hey, as the beginner, start off in like the SPY, which is just the index fund. It follows pretty much the overall market, or the QQQs, right? That's where I would originally start investing. After I got into some index funds, maybe do a little bit more ETF specific. So for me, I'm very tech heavy. Fahiman, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. So one of my favorite ETFs is outside of SPY. So I definitely would start with like the SPYs, the QQQs. Greystone mentioned another one. Another one of the SPY is the VOO ETF. Right. So this is just pretty much the SPY. I believe this one might have lower cost. Both of them, both the SPY has cheap costs. This also has a cheap expense ratio. So nothing to really matter, in my opinion, nothing that really affects a portfolio. Once you kind of got in a bit of money into your index funds, maybe try finding some stocks you like, something big, maybe like an Amazon, maybe like an Apple. But I wouldn't say don't go in too heavy. I think it's better to just kind of test the waters. And just try it out. Let me tell you, many people try to go super heavy in the stock market at once when they begin, and because they believe that this is the only time there's these types of deals. The market provides so much types of opportunities. It doesn't matter if you kind of go slow in right now. Next year, the market is going to provide some form of opportunity. The year after that is going to provide some form of opportunity. There's going to be some form of new technology. So just don't rush it, but definitely take steps with the index funds. Find some ETFs. For example, one of my favorites would be like the Meta ETF. This is one I'm constantly buying. So I'm showing you the ones I am buying. The Meta ETF. This one has strong companies like Nvidia, Microsoft, Roblox, Unity. If you're kind of into the gaming world, this is a cool one to have, and kind of into like the metaverse. Meta Holdings is another one that is a little bit more market specific. After you kind of hit some and definitely right what Rajesh is saying, and Ed, watch Squid Game on Netflix, won't disappoint. Ed, appreciate the support, man. Sorry, I was kind of lost in thought. I'm giving some of my thoughts to a new investor, Fahiman, but appreciate it. And Ed is coming out and saying Squid Game is a must watch. It won't disappoint. So now I have to watch it, Ed. Thank you for that. Dave Silva, sitting in the meeting, is safe to open the portfolio today? As of yet, yes. It's not a crazy red day. Definitely not a crazy red day. So for me, it was actually, let me open up my portfolio. Real quick. And sorry for him, I kind of went off track. I also want to say, if you're here in the United States, or for me in the United States, we have brokers that allow fractional trading. I think fractional trading is the greatest thing. Fractional trading, in my opinion, is if you have an account less than $1 million, fractional trading is a must. I believe even people with over $1 million should still use fractional trading. So try to look for a broker that has fractional trading or fractional shares, and that also has very low fees. Again, I'm not sure if you're here in the United States, plenty of brokers have free trading. So Dave Silva, so definitely that. And Fahim, there's so much information. I am here on a daily basis. If you start today, feel free to come back tomorrow, next week, and just be like, hey, Jose, I started a week ago. This is what I did. Obviously, I'm not here to give advice. I'm not a professional, but I'll definitely help you out. I mean, I'll show you how I would do it, right? That's not necessarily the best way, but how I would do it for him. And usually I share my overall portfolio, and within the portfolio, I think I did it last quarter around June. It should be in my videos. Take a look at it. Take a look at it, Fahim, man. And I explain a little bit more of my investment thesis. So right now is definitely that learning period for him, and is just take your time. There's really no rush. Rajesh, thank you for the support. Appreciate it, Rajesh. Just give a support, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys make this so much fun to do. David Becker, Square is down 1.25%. David Becker also add, that is all I have seen on like Reddit and other things. Man, all right. So this Squid Game is interesting for sure, man. We got David Becker and we got Ed kind of talking about it. We're gonna do a live stream watching it so we can all watch it together. Obviously, I can't do that because then my account would be banned, but that would be pretty cool. So Gordon, Rajesh, fractional shares is the way to go as a beginner. Agree, Rajesh. Ganesh, what's going on, Ganesh? Good advice. Thank you. Gordon, good morning. I'm not sure if I said good morning to you already, Gordon. Shukshrat, and avoid Chinese stocks. For sure. I mean, avoid definitely, especially as beginner, right? As a beginner, I think, understand the risk. I think for me, might be biased because I am American, but I obviously would invest most of my money in U.S. stocks. That doesn't mean I don't invest outside of the U.S. market, but when first starting, I would kind of focus in just U.S.-based companies. Polly, good morning. Good morning, Polly. How's it going? Rajesh, de nada, Jose. Rajesh, appreciate it, man. It's awesome, and thank you guys so much, you and Ed, for the support. So, guys, what do we have? Anybody have any thoughts, any stocks they want to take a quick look at? Pilot, Polestar is Volvo's electric vehicle company. Okay, all right. So CleanSpark, also any thoughts on Polestar merger with SPAC? So I don't follow Pilot. I haven't followed the EV market too much. So I didn't know Volvo they kind of split up their electric vehicles. That's definitely pretty interesting. So maybe something I see them here, good feedback from owners. I personally have not seen any Volvo electric vehicles in this side of the world. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Pilot, I know you are in the other side in Europe, right, Pilot? So I'm guessing you guys have a little bit more electric vehicles on the road. Are you seeing Volvo being a strong player there, Pilot? And actually, what are some other EV vehicles you're seeing to be strong in there? So KS Coin is definitely pretty interesting, right? I mean, I don't have position in Coin. One thing though is we definitely have. What's going on, Q? Good morning, Q. Hope you're doing fine. Hope the family's doing good. Thank you for the support, Q. On always, Q is the #1 support, man. This guy, every video he comments. I'm pretty sure he has a list of comments to leave, and he always switches them up. But Q, appreciate the support. With Coinbase, I think it's pretty interesting for sure. I mean, there's definitely competition, right? I mean, Robinhood, I believe now is allowing, I think it was Robinhood, allowing you to send your crypto to your own wallets, which might be a bit of a competition to Coinbase, right? I believe a lot of people use Coinbase, especially right now as the kind of NFT market is booming. Everybody that's kind of in buying NFTs will go to Coinbase, buy their crypto, send it to their MetaMask. Right, so Coinbase definitely have some competition right now. Crypto is definitely seeing a bit of volatility. I think volatility is great for trading. A lot more people are trading right now with this volatility, so that can kind of do well in forms of revenue for Coinbase. Obviously, competition. I haven't followed it too much, but the legal stuff kind of affecting Coinbase might be something to keep an eye on. In forms of stock price, right? Let's just take a quick look at stock price on Coin. Coin right now, right, not overextended, definitely plenty of volume where it's at. I do believe this low 200s continues to be a strong support for Coin. Right, it's kind of bounced off here numerous times, and I don't believe that's gonna. Obviously, volatility in the market can break that, but there is a high chance of that continuing to be a strong support. So Coinbase, I do believe if the kind of digital market of kind of cryptocurrency goods continues, so being able to purchase stuff with your wallet. With the NFT kind of phrase still happening, I don't think it's game over for Coin. I think a good competition kind of more coming into the market is definitely something to keep an eye out though, for sure. I mean, I thought we saw Affirm, right? Affirm is now able to do cryptocurrencies transactions directly from savings account. The real question is, are they able to kind of send those cryptocurrencies to their MetaMask wallet? If so, that's also another form of competition. So, Anson, do you think Tesla is gonna break 800? I'm Sweden, where Volvo is based and made. Its premium brand seems like most people just waiting for better priced EVs with better driving range. Most keen to convert to EV from petrol. I agree. I think that's pretty much worldwide, right? I think right now we all know EVs are still in early stages, and I'm pretty sure the consumer understands that, yes, we can kind of get into this market right now with the Ford Mustang E, with some Teslas. But as we're seeing more automobile companies come in, it's not bad to wait another 2-3 years to see how this kind of technology advances. So definitely. So Volvo is a nice brand for sure. I don't think I've seen any Volvo EV cars here in the USA. Anson, do you think Tesla's gonna break 800? Let's take a quick look at Anson. So Anson, Tesla. I mean, I don't know, right? I'm not much of a trader. I'm more of a investor. I mean, Tesla in the future, I do think can break the 800s. I mean, I don't think Tesla is done where it's at right now. I do believe this is going to be a very, very volatile stock. Right, this is one that can for sure continue to go down, continue to go up. Volatility in the market, right? Yesterday we have kind of like big automobile. Yesterday, Ford invested another 7 billion or 8 billion, I forgot, into US factories to build more EVs. Let's see. So for me, Tesla is not done. I do believe it's going to be a bit volatile, and can definitely see both better and worse days. In the long term of things, I think Tesla is still looking 5-10 years from now. It still could be a strong winner. In the short term, I'm not too familiar. Rajesh, hey Jose, Fresh when you get a chance. Let's see if the only thing, unfortunately, with Fresh, right, Rajesh, is there's not too much information. Let's see what we can take a look at. So Fresh. Freshworks, that's for sure. What's going on, Valeria? Hi. I bought Microsoft for 300 and it dropped, but is it a good long-term hold, Valeria? So for me, welcome to the market. It seems you might be kind of new. So Microsoft for me is a no-brainer. It's in my portfolio. It obviously sucks. One purchasing pretty high. It's kind of 284 and bought around 300 around the top. Maybe in the next few months, it might look like a bad investment, right, Valeria? I believe this is a long-term hold. I wouldn't even worry about Microsoft. This is a company, if I bought at 300 and I saw it at 284 right now, maybe in the next few months, it might look like a bad investment. I believe in the future, in the 5 years, it's not one I would blink an eye for. I own Microsoft right now. I didn't even notice it hit $300. I didn't even notice it dropped to 284. That's because this is a company that's pretty much one of the never sell lists, right? I'm pretty sure Ed would agree with here, for sure. So battery replacement cost is another major factor to contend with, for sure, in the Rajesh, for sure in the EV market, right? I do believe the lifespan of the battery is a bit weird, and if those damage, it could be very, very expensive. Ed, I wonder, all the people that don't have garage, how EV will solve that problem. Yeah, for sure. So for example, Ed, I kind of live in a community, right? I live within a community. So I don't have a garage right now, and I kind of have like selected parking spots. For me, I can't get an EV vehicles because I can't just throw a charging station. Maybe I can talk to the community manager and be like, hey, maybe I can do, but that would be something. If not, I believe I would have bought a Tesla already if I was able to kind of put a station out there. So condo apartments can't really charge EV. Yep. Back, what's going on? This Internet Explorer bug. Man, did you put a bug in the system? So what's going on? Let's see. Anson. Yeah, me too, investor. But Tesla has been consolidating for a few months. Would you think this is a breakout? I mean, definitely. It definitely has been, right? It's kind of sitting around these prices. It kind of looks like it's ready to break out. At the same time, it does show a bit of overextension. So for me, it just tells me, hey, Jose, this stock can be a bit more volatile right now. So yeah, it definitely seems to be kind of breaking out of this kind of testing that it's had in the past, 789. It seems to be like 800 max. So I think only a few more days to tell. Most population live in urban environment. Agree that I agree with you on battery replacement and lack of range of EV. Edgar, blah blah blah. Fizz, let's see. Pilot. I'm not really focused on EV manufacturers. More interested in battery makers, semiconductor makers, Unity, Synopsys, Cerence, etc. Those will be most and all EV, regardless of which company wins. I agree, Pilot. For me, I'm focused more within the overall industry, within the semiconductor industry, that provide those kind of returns or provide some form of semiconductor product for the cars. I think right now, a lot of people are talking about the EV market. I believe a market kind of being overlooked right now is the smart market, the smart car market. And I'm not talking about the small vehicles. I believe before the EV market becomes strong, the smart car market, where all our cars now have some form of voice assistant, some form of sensors and stuff like that, I think that's going to continue to grow. So I believe the smart car market is different from the EV market, and I believe the smart car market is the one that's racing right now, and that's the one that's going to do really, really well with semiconductors and the overall technology. Fizz, Ed, ill, Fizz, IE, for sure, right? Tell him, Ed. Google Chrome around here. Fizz, I've had Microsoft for a year and a half. I always tell Jose, don't let your future self be upset that you sold Microsoft. For sure. I forgot if it was you, Ed, or Fizz that always tells me future Jose would regret selling Microsoft, and 100%. Draftkings still waiting to move. Draftkings should not move, okay? Okay, Polly, let's say Draftkings needs to stay at these levels, maybe even lower, but I'm purchasing tomorrow, so let's the prices stay low. So Valeria, what are other good long-term stocks other than Tesla, Microsoft? I mean, it all depends, right? I believe there's many stocks in the market. One of my favorites, Valeria, is Nvidia, but very similar. I believe these are stocks that are going to be very, very volatile. AMD is another one of my favorites. I like Draftkings. I do a few videos, Valeria, on stocks I enjoy right now. Feel free to watch them. At the same time, if one is kind of beginning in the market, I definitely would say start focusing in some ETFs. They might be boring, or some index funds. But starting off in the market, I believe those are probably the best ways to get some exposure. Gordon. Oh, actually, I forgot. Sorry, I gotta go back to Rajesh. We were talking about Freshworks. So Freshworks, this is currently traded under the ticker FRSH. Freshworks develops software solutions for businesses worldwide. Right now, it has a market cap of $12.1 billion. Future growth, this company forecasted software industry annual growth is expected to be 21.1. Unfortunately, this is a company that's very early stages. Not many analysts are looking at it, right, Richard? So we can't see what future projections are. But let's take a quick look at maybe past things. So historically, we can see this is a company with about $308 million in revenue. Not much of a grower right now. If we take a look at, this is company positive in cash flow from operations. They are not positive in earnings, but they are making money from their everyday operations. So that's definitely pretty interesting. If we take a look at their financial health, they have plenty of cash, no debt to their name. I believe this is pre-IPO process, since their IPO just happened, and this is kind of June 29th of 2021. I believe this balance sheet is going to look a lot stronger once it gets updated next quarter. But let's take a look at Fresh Stock. So right now, this definitely seems to be a growth company, right? It's right now market cap of about 12 billion. We can take a quick look at the price. Right now, since IPO, and this is the thing, usually after IPO, we definitely see quite a correction. For a few things for Fresh is first, Fresh Stock, let's see, lockup period. So the lockup period is between 90 to 80 days. They haven't really shown a lockup period for Fresh. NASDAQ says it would be about 180 days, so it's March of 2022. I would definitely double check with that when the actual date, because sometimes NASDAQ just gives an automatic 2-day period, 180-day period. Let's see, Fresh Investors Relations. I want to see IR Freshworks. So Freshworks, let's take a quick look. When do they expect to do earnings? I think for this company, it's still so early on in stages that there's not much information. See, even if I try to look for financial informations, they have no presentations, financial news, their public offering. So for me, Rajesh, this is a company that would really take heavy digging into to really get some information on them. I personally would rate after IPOs. I don't mind kind of waiting a few quarters before entering. This is more a position if, hey, I was super excited. For me, Unity was probably one of the only IPOs that I really got into. And that's because I really knew Unity. So Unity is one I got into, but I didn't get into a heavy position. I still waited for a better buying opportunity. I think maybe Fresh can be the same, right? If one is kind of excited into it, maybe dollar cost average. Then once we get a little bit more insight on the market, a little bit more insight on their earnings and stuff like that, maybe that might give us a better direction of where this company might be heading to. So Draftkings, let's see. Pilot, Indy Semiconductors really aiming to service smart cards. Good leadership there. I really like the company. So I definitely, I did a video on Indy Pilot. I enjoy their roadmap of what are the products they're trying to offer in the future. I'm not a huge fan of the products they offer right now. Obviously, they're boring. But to me, it's nothing too crazy in forms of product wise. I believe the roadmap that they're doing is something exciting for India, and I can definitely see the huge growth there. Gordon, Draftkings is lower than $50. Yep, right now sitting at $49.70. I feel like my account isn't moving. That's pretty weird. Come on, Trading View. Let's take a quick look at my portfolio. We're still seeing a bit green here, a bit red as well overall. Greystone, I like Google, Costco, and AMD for long term. Those are great plays, Greystone, for sure. I definitely like Google. My wife would have loved Costco and AMD for sure. What do you think? FB highlights. What do you think about CrowdStrike? That it's down pretty big. So CrowdStrike is one I like. CrowdStrike is one that I enjoy dollar cost averaging into whenever I can. FB highlights. CrowdStrike is in my portfolio. I do like it at these levels. $1 cost average, in my opinion, for me. Air Bear, speaking on the smart car, what else besides Cerence have you looked into? Would be interested to look future towards the market. So I think the two major players right now, Air Bear, would be Cerence and Indy. Those are the two ones that I really know within the smart car market. I don't know anything else. So Valeria, I will check them out. Thank you. No problem, Valeria. ASML is one I'm into, so thanks for that suggestion. Where did we talk about ASML? Yeah, so that Air Bear, a video is coming out on ASML after I'm done with this stream. So you guys should definitely watch that. I think ASML looks pretty attractive right now. Pilot Pancho, autonomous driving will work when all cars on the road sharing info instead of trying to individually manage their surroundings independently. When all cars communicating, self-driving seems easy. Agree, right? That's the real, obviously that's going to be the easiest way. The easiest way is when everybody's going to be sharing all the information. The real question are these automobile companies going to want to share that information? And I believe that's going to take some time for them to do it. So I think in the short term, and I still believe in the 10 years, the only way to go about it would be them managing their surroundings. But I agree. I believe when cars will be able to communicate, that's when driving will seem easy. And that's going to help out so much in traffic-wise, right? Gracias, Jose, for looking up Fresh. Rajesh, thank you, man. Rajesh keeping me up with my Spanish, right? Something I don't practice too much. Rajesh keeping in my toes with that Spanish, so appreciate that too. So let's see, guys. Let's take a quick look at the market one more time. It's not that too bad. Dow, now that I refresh, we're still seeing a bit up. It's still somewhat excited. Dow is up 0.56, Nasdaq up 0.66, S&P up 0.62. Yesterday was definitely a pretty red day. I personally don't think it's over, but I wish it's over, right? I hope it's over. At the same time, I don't expect it to be over. We have some definitely big players that are down. Micron in the semiconductor, NXP semiconductors down 3.46. Interesting, might have to take a look at that. Let's take a quick look at CNBC. Anything trending right now? Nothing seems. Navient won't service federal student loans. YouTube bans high-profit anti-vaccine accounts in new misinformation crackdown. That's crazy. We asked 3 major investments what happens next in the market. None see big returns. Well, I guess because none see big returns, we are definitely going to see big returns. Pending home sales surge more than expected in August after 2 months of declines. That's insane, right? I mean, I'm trying to buy a house, second rental property, but I don't think now's the time for me to do that. So maybe just keep on waiting. Musk criticizes Bezos' approach to space. You cannot sue your way into the moon. That's unfortunately one thing I hate about Amazon, right? I feel like they sue their way to kind of prevent kind of fluctuation. I mean, to me, one thing that, for example, with that Microsoft Jedi deal, not because I'm a Microsoft holder, I could care less who won the deal. But with Amazon kind of doing all the lawsuits on Microsoft with the Jedi deal, it kind of prevented the U.S. government to kind of focus and kind of grow into and kind of grow their technologies. I mean, I think that lawsuit that kind of prevented the government to continue with that Jedi did not. It's not healthy. It's not a healthy thing. I mean, especially for national security, you shouldn't be able to prevent technology advancement because you're suing your way into it. So that thing a little bit irks me about Amazon, in my opinion. So what does Motley Fool say about Draftkings? To be honest, I'm not sure, Luis. I don't know too much of the right, because the Fool has a great thing. They have their analyst services, and then they have a great tool of kind of sharing different opinions. Different Fools, author, content creators might share different thoughts. I'm personally one that is bullish in Draftkings. Not too sure what some of the other Fools are into. Jeffrey, you can't buy ASML and Robinhood. Really? That's pretty insane. I thought ASML was traded under the Nasdaq. Yeah, it's traded. That's insane that you can't buy ASML in Robinhood, even though it's traded under the Nasdaq. Pretty interesting. What's MLS? It should work the same way MLS works. All brokerage can be aware of all listings. All cars should be aware. MLS. I think that's the home buyer stuff, right? MLS. Mortgage lendings, I don't know. CEI to $90 trending. Yup. I see that trending a bit. So guys, when foreclosures start, the house prices will drop maybe beginning of 2022. And we will see, right, Luis? Hopefully. I mean, not hopefully. Thoughts on Adobe, Chester? No thoughts on Adobe right now. And I think I miss Gordon. Gordon, I miss your Twilio. Not sure if AWS does, but sure has special data centers for government to add extra layer of security. I'm pretty sure Azure has their own government style security as well. Adobe, I mean, I do believe the software market was a bit overextended. I'm happy these stock prices have taken a hit. You can see they were a bit overextended. To me, Adobe, I haven't really taken a look at their earnings, Chester. To me, looking very attractive if I was bullish at these price points. This would be a nice dollar cost averaging time. Twilio also, that's one I follow definitely in my market. Gordon, actually, thank you for bringing it up. This is going to make my list most likely for this upcoming week, not this Thursday, but next Thursday. Twilio looking attractive at these levels. Still more of a dollar cost averaging, nice, a bit heavier dollar cost averaging position. But guys, that's it for today. It is about 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go have a quick breakfast. I just recorded, so I have to go eat breakfast, and then I'm gonna take out the ASML and Micron technology video. Thank you guys for the support. Fizz, Pilot Poncho, Jeffrey, Luis, Chester, KS, Rajesh, and Ed. Thank you for the major donation supports. Appreciate Valeria, Airbear, FB Highlights, Greystone, Anson, Polly, Ed, KS, Anson, Fahim, everybody. You guys are always welcome back. Polly, Ganesh, Dave Silva, everybody, Danny. Thank you guys. David Becker, BKD. Greystone, Mr. High. Thank you guys, Peter. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Rajesh, que tenga un buen día. You too, Rajesh. You too. Air Bear, have a good day, man. Thank you guys for the support. I'm out, but I'll definitely be doing some videos. Take care, guys, and see you tomorrow.